That's for sure.
Coming.
Yeah. And in the news, I heard a report about a bad outbreak of the stomach bug. Apparently, 9 out of 10 people suffered from diarrhea, and I can't stop thinking about the 10th person who really enjoyed it. I'm thinking, oh boy, oh shit, oh God, that feels good. So, this blonde goes to court, and eventually the judge says, I hereby declare the case closed. There's not enough evidence that you stole the $10,000 US. And the blonde's thrilled. Oh gosh, does that mean I can keep all the money? A blonde hits another car and the other driver goes berserk and yells, did you even do a driving test, you stupid cow? And the blonde indignantly replies, yes, and probably a lot more times than you did.
So there.
Yeah.
Hey, two blondes and a brunette got stuck in an elevator, and the blonde starts yelling, help! And then the other one, help! And the brunette says, come on, girls, let's scream together. It'll be louder. Okay, the blondes agree, and they start screaming, together! 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 How many blonde jokes altogether are there? There's only 3. All the rest are true stories. Yeah. So 2 turkeys are looking at the sky at dusk, and one turkey asks the other, do you believe in life after Christmas? Madam, your son just called me an ugly swine. The mother's embarrassed. She's like, I'm so sorry. I must have told him like 1,000 times it's wrong to judge people just from how they look.
Ouch.
Yeah, I was at a restaurant and I noticed my waitress had a black and blue eye, so I made my order very slowly. She obviously wasn't very good at listening.
No.
Yeah, my friend surprised me for my birthday with a book called Roadkill Recipes. I did find some roadkill the other day, so I cooked it according to one recipe, and it was delicious. I'm just not sure what to do with a bicycle.
The Walking Dead.
Hey, my old aunts would come and tease me at all the weddings. Oh, well, Sarah, when do you think you're going to get, when will you be next? And I ended quickly, by just saying, the same thing to them at funerals. Yeah, I took my grandma to a fish spa center where the little fish eat your dead skin for $45. It was way cheaper than having her buried at the cemetery.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
The sergeant and 2 men from the platoon go to a bar, and the sergeant asks an attractive waitress to join him in a game of pool, but she says she'd rather play with his privates. One day, the manager of a broker's firm walks past a new employee counting put-in call slips, and the guy does it faster than anybody's ever seen. He says, that's amazing. Where'd you learn to count like that? The guy says, Yale. The employee said, Yale. And the employer says, Yale? I don't believe it. I went to Yale. What's your name? Yummy Johnson, says the employee. Yale. This executive is interviewing an attractive young blonde who's obviously very nervous. If you could have a conversation with anyone, living or dead, who would it be? And the young woman says, oh, the living one for sure. My printer's type began to grow so faint, so I called this local repair shop, and this really nice guy said that the printer probably needed to be cleaned, and the store charged $50 to clean it, and he told me I'd probably be better off trying to do the job myself. And I was really happy that he was so honest. And I said, does your boss know you're discouraging business? He says, well, actually, it's my boss's idea. We usually make a lot more money on repairs if we let people try to fix it themselves first. About where I'm at with my old desktop. Yeah. Yep. Boss to his new blonde secretary says, will you file these papers for me? And the blonde secretary goes, wouldn't it be easier to trim them with scissors? 2 men in an office are talking about the various gadgets they got on their desk. So one guy goes, so you use your dictaphone much? And the other says, nah, I usually use my finger.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
The secretary is going on her lunch break when she spots her clueless boss standing in front of the shredder. She walks up and says, "Do you need any help?" And he says, "Yeah, please. This is very important." "I'm glad to help," she says. And she turns on the shredder, puts the paper in. He says, "Gee, thanks. I only need one copy."
Oh. Ouch.
What's worse than waking up at a party and finding a penis drawn on your face? Finding out it was traced.
Oh. Ooh, ew.
A blonde woman called an airline customer service desk, and she asked if she could take her dog on board. "Oh, sure," said the rep, "as long as you provide your own kennel. And the kennel needs to be large enough for the dog to stand up, sit down, turn around, and roll over." Customer says, "Oh, I'll never be able to teach all of that by tomorrow."
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, my English as second language students try so hard. They're so appreciative. And one student paid me the ultimate compliment. She said, "You teach English good." And another said, "I will always forget you." And a third said, "I thank you from the heart of my bottom." Yeah, a buddy of mine works at a tat shop. And the client walked in and got a sentence tattooed on his back. And a few hours later, he called demanding a refund. Client says, "You did my tattoo backward." The tattoo artist is like, "It's backward?" "Yes, I'm looking at it in the mirror right now." Yeah, I spent 4 years in college. I didn't learn a thing. It was really my own fault, though. I had a double major. It was in psychology and reverse psychology. Oh.
Double negative. Double negative.
A blowfly goes into a bar and he says, "Is that stool taken?" They've just found the gene for shyness. Did you know that? Yeah. They would have found it earlier, but it was hiding behind two other genes.
Poor thing.